let's see. Hard to follow says, oh, post this earlier, might have missed it. Serious question on the whole combat versus RP topic. Oh, perfect. How should I go about talking to a player that hates combat in D&D but loves the RP? Like, there's a reason it's called Dungeons and Dragons, not Society and Tribulation. I don't want to tell them that D&D ain't for them and they'd be better off at a regular RP. But okay, am I an asshole? They say they don't like combat, but talk to them and figure out what about combat do they not like. Yeah, like, what could it be? It could be that, oh, combat's too slow, or oh, I just don't understand combat, or oh, I don't want to have to worry about my character dying. I don't like the stress of my character, you know, being injured permanently and stuff like that. Figure out why the player doesn't like combat, and then after you figure out the reasons why they don't like it, figure out ways and brainstorm how you can talk to the player of like, hey, okay, so I know you didn't necessarily like this portion about combat. Let's say it's I don't like nearly dying or whatever every single time, right? Then you figure out, okay, so what can we do to make it where you still enjoy combat? Because this is an essential part of the game. We have to have it in the game. How can we make it where it's more enjoyable for you? And you may end up coming up with a thing where, hey, maybe your character specifically or something like that. I don't know. This is a terrible idea. Don't follow like this example or advice, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to, give out. Maybe it's like, oh, maybe their character has a thing where your character doesn't necessarily die whenever they are reduced to 0 hit points, you know, because maybe that player is really, really attached to them, but instead of them necessarily not dying, they lose maybe a bit of their soul or whatever is siphoned by this dark patron or whatever, right? So it gives them more RP sort of things like, oh, I don't want to die, but or anything like that. And even if I die and all that stuff, it's not like the character's dead or something like that, but it still will have consequences, and it'll actually lead into cooler sort of story beats that I would love to sort of RP as my characters losing more and more of their soul, right? But again, TLDR, figure out why they don't like something or XYZ, and then discuss as a party or as a whole on how you can basically help with it and get them involved in the design process. I don't want to say don't, or like, because I don't want to like give advice or anything like that. I want to share experiences. But in my experience, when you get the players involved in the process and you get them thinking along with you, 2 brains are better than 1, right? 2 brains are better than 1. It's worked a lot more successfully when instead of just presenting like, hey, this is how, okay, so you said you didn't like this is how it's going to be. Here's these new mechanics. Hope you like them. Hope you enjoy them. We're going to try them out for a couple sessions, right? It works out a little bit more when it's just like, hey, let's talk about this, have a conversation, let's figure out these mechanics together, right? That's just how it's helped me out in the future or in the past. Pray Spinach says, well, hold on real quick. Probably not, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you for joining on in.